Schizophrenia. It is one of the most bizarre mental illness. It can take you out of reality and make you believe things that you only believe and see things all by yourself. Welcome to Psychology 101, and today we are going to explain the signs, symptoms, cause, origin, diagnosis, risk factors that surround about schizophrenia. In this topic, we will only explain about schizophrenia and gives you some insights on mental illnesses included in Schizophrenia Spectrum Disorder. Origin. The origin of schizophrenia can be traced back in time of Emil Kraepelin. He believed that schizophrenia is caused by the premature deterioration of the brain. So that's why he called it dementia precox. Schizophrenia spectrum disorder can be represented by a continuum line that represents the schizophrenia spectrum disorder from functional to dysfunctional. The first disorder that got out of a normal state is schizotypal personality disorder. If you have this, you may experience paranoia, delusions, magical thinking, social isolation, and restricted emotion. Then we have delusional disorders, such as paranoid personality disorder. People have this only have persistent beliefs that are unrealistic. Next is schizoaffective disorder. This disorder has symptoms of schizophrenia and symptoms of mood disorder. Lastly is schizophrenia. This disorder have more than 6 months of hallucinations, delusions, disorganized speech and thought, and many more that we are going to discuss next. Signs and symptoms. There are two clusters of symptoms in schizophrenia, the positive symptoms and the negative symptoms. Positive symptoms includes hallucination, delusions, disorganized speech and thought, and catatonic behavior. Let's start characterize these symptoms, beginning in hallucination. Hallucinations are unreal perceptual experiences that tend to be frequent, persistent, and more bizarre. Some of the kind of hallucinations are visual.
Jose? Oh, hindi ako pumatay sa kanya.
Auditory, tactile, and somatic. Delusions. Delusions, on the other hand, is a belief held with strong conviction despite superior evidence to the contrary. It is distinct from a belief based on false or incomplete information, confabulation, dogma, illusions, or other effects of perception. Some of the most common beliefs of people having schizophrenia is persecutory delusion,
Hindi ako may kasalanan nun.
delusion of reference,
Alam ko na, ako may susi para magamot silang lahat.
grandiose delusions,
Ako si Goku! Jing, 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 jing!
delusion of being controlled,
Huwag mo akong kontrolin! Papayag! Pigilan mo ako!
delusion of thought broadcasting,
Binabasa mo yung isip ko, no?
delusions of thought insertion,
Ano ba? Huwag mo ipasa akin yung mga kailangan hindi dapat ipasok!
delusion of thought withdrawal,
Huwag mong kunin na sa isip ko! Baka mawala!
delusion of guilt or sin,
May kasalanan, ba't namatay siya? Sabi naman kasi sa'yo eh.
somatic delusion,
Sabi ni, andito lang sa loob yun, alam ko eh. Ako nandito lang eh.
erotomanic delusion,
Jennifer Lawrence. Ay, ingay daw sa akin yun.
delusional jealousy,
Sabi naman kasi sa'yo akin siya. Ano ba? Huwag kang away magkita sa kanya. Ano ba? Huwag mo i-text yan. Huwag mo i-chat.
and delusion of guilt.
Ang Pilipinas, susugulin ng China dahil sa akin. Pakawalan niyo ako dito!
Disorganized thought, speech, and catatonic behavior. Disorganized thought is a thinking that is common to a patient of schizophrenia. It is characterized by a tendency to slip from one topic to another unrelated topic, often referred to as derailment. Disorganized speech is characterized by clangs, or repetitive use of same word or sounds over and over.
Da 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 da.
Neologism is invention of new words that means something only to the patient.
Mushibare. Nasini. Moraigada. Mocheta.
Word salad is a mixture of words that cannot form a simple thought.
I know something new. Pero hindi siya yun eh. I know someone. Si Angel yun eh.
Disorganized behavior of a person with schizophrenia may display unpredictable and apparently untriggered agitation, like shouting, sweating, and pacing rapidly. This is due to their response on their hallucinations. On the other hand, catatonic behavior is a disorganized behavior that reflects unresponsiveness to the environment. Some of these are negativism or lack of response to instructions, catalepsy, catatonic excitement, catatonic stupor, catatonic rigidity, and catatonic posturing. Negative symptoms. Negative symptoms includes restricted affect, avolition, and cognitive deficits. Restricted affect refers to a severe reduction or absence of emotional expressions. On the other hand, anhedonia is a loss of the ability to experience pleasure. Avolition is inability to initiate or persist at common goal-directed activities. Cognitive deficits. Most people with schizophrenia develop a cognitive deficits in basic cognitive processes like attention, memory, and processing speed. Diagnosis. In DSM-5, in order to know that a person has schizophrenia, the person must have the following criteria. The DSM-5 states that in order to be diagnosed with schizophrenia, an individual must show 2 or more symptoms of psychosis, at least one of which should be delusions, hallucinations, or disorganized speech. These symptoms must be consistently and acutely present for at least 1 month, referred to as the acute phase of the disorder. In addition, the individual must have some symptoms of the disorder for at least 6 months to a degree that impairs social or occupational functioning. These symptoms cannot be due to ingestion of a substance, a medical disease, or a mood disorder. When symptoms of catatonia are present, these symptoms are specified in the diagnosis. Risk and prognostic factors. Environmental. Season of birth has been linked to the incidence of schizophrenia, including late winter or early spring in some locations, and summer for the deficit form of the disease. The incidence of schizophrenia and related disorders is higher for children growing up in an urban environment and for some minority ethnic groups. Genetic and physiological. There is a strong contribution for genetic factors in determining risk for schizophrenia. Although most individuals who have been diagnosed with schizophrenia have no family history of psychosis. Liability is conferred by a spectrum of risk alleles, common and rare, with each allele contributing only a small fraction to the total population variance. The risk alleles identified to date are also associated with other mental disorders, including bipolar disorder, depression, and autism spectrum disorder.